How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another live stream and episode of Let's Build Twitter. After a couple years of this YouTube thing, I finally learned how to actually schedule a live stream. I thought y'all were crazy. I didn't actually know you could schedule live streams, so that's interesting. Hopefully the audio is okay. I haven't gotten to the point of editing up the other stream where I edited or I changed the audio settings, so we'll see how that goes. Last episode, we basically wrapped up the creation of posts. We got our emojis finished up and displayed and everything like that. There's still a couple bugs I want to go through and iron out, but I think we're going to take a break from all of that post stuff. I want to go ahead and get it so that we can go ahead and see some stuff on the feed page. Now, to be able to see stuff on the feed page, we need to be able to actually follow people, and to follow people, we need to be able to basically search for people. I'm sure there's probably, Twitter probably does like a thing where it displays like popular posts or something, but I'd like to have like basically a search functionality. So basically what I want to go ahead and do, I think, is create kind of like a new service. This will maybe be called like discovery service or something. We can search for people, we can search for like maybe content inside a post and things like that. For the time being, we're just going to return users. And then of course we need some users to also go ahead and be able to follow. So then I'm also thinking that we might go through and I guess maybe do some nitty-gritty, not as fun stuff, where we're going to go ahead and be able to basically insert users. I did find some data or figure out how to deal with that. So let's just make sure that I can actually run the application, because sometimes for some reason the database doesn't persist. I don't know why it does that. Let's just make sure we can connect. Failed, port 8000 already in use. What would be using? Oh, you know what? Give me a second. I might be running something in here, so one sec. I think it's this, and so it's a super secret project I'm working on. Give me one moment to see if maybe this is still running. I didn't think it was, but maybe it is. What do I call this? Okay, oops. And okay, it is still running. Interesting. I would have thought that that would cancel that. Okay. Cool. All right, so we should be good now. I'm working on a new tutorial and I'm trying to figure out this Vim stuff and all of that good stuff. I want to eventually make kind of like a setup video for Vim. So let's go ahead and try to run this again. Kind of like the ultimate like Spring setup, stuff like that. Or I mean Java setup. Cool. And we might need to adjust the font size on this. I haven't really touched this all that much. I don't even know how to set the font size. It's gotta be an appearance, right? Appearance. Zoom. Is there just there's custom font. Let's see. Use custom font. I wonder if I can get JetBrains Mono. Oh, we can. So let's say like JetBrains Mono. We'll just do semi-bold. But let's go ahead and bring this up to like 20. Apply that. That didn't do what I wanted whatsoever. So I guess that's incorrect. So let's unapply that. I thought that would do the actual IDE. Let's see here. Style setting or system settings. Maybe it's editor. Maybe it's under editor font. Here we go. Okay, we're already using JetBrains Mono. And we'll go ahead and use size like 20. And we'll see if that's too big. Maybe 18, because I want y'all to be able to see it. I changed a bunch of stuff. I also realized I lost all of my settings for Postman, so that's going to be fun. So let's go ahead and I guess let's just make a new service. And we're going to go ahead and call this Discovery Service. Alright, ignore that. We'll throw @service over this. @service. Whoops. Service. Okay. And basically there's like several things. So there's top, there's latest, there's people, there's media, And then there's lists. I don't know what lists do. Basically, I want to be able to search for people. So we're going to do hopefully like a little bit of a fuzzy search. We might need to go into our user repository and search for a user search for a user like yada yada yada. The only thing is I'm not 100% sure how we're going to deal with this and what we're going to search by. I'm going to look up Spring JPA query like. So let's see if we can find how to do that. So let's see your like queries in Spring JPA, because this is kind of how we want it. So let's see here. That's basically what we want. So you can do containing, and let's see. Yeah, maybe we try containing and then kind of see how that goes, and then maybe we sort them by most popular or something. So let's go ahead and say a list of application user, and we're gonna go ahead and say find by, and we're gonna say, I think we want username, containing, and then we're gonna say string name, I guess. I don't know if that's how we want it. We might want username here just to be safe, excuse me. And let's go ahead and import our list. I'm surprised we don't have it in there. Util, that's fine. Cool. So basically we want to search for people by this. It's going to be hard to search because we don't have that many people in there, and that's why I want to look into we need to set up something in here, and then also basically inserting a bunch of people. We'll probably just start out by inserting some cartoon characters that we can follow, and maybe follow each other and stuff. We'll see. And we'll have to figure out how we're going to sort them and stuff like that. But that should be fine. So we'll probably need a comparator to compare the users by their followers or whatever. But I think that's probably fine. We'll see how this works. So now in our discovery service, let's go ahead and say private final user repository, and we'll go ahead and say user repository. Okay, and I don't know what your problem is, and then we're gonna go ahead and say at AutoWired public and discovery service. I'll figure out what's wrong with it in a second. And we'll go ahead and say user repository. User repository. This dot user repository is equal to user repository. There we go. Cool. So now we have the user repository set up. And so basically we want like search by user, search by yada yada yada. By default, it'll probably actually search by top or whatever. And top is just like top posts. So we'll have different things here. So we'll say public list of application user, and let's go ahead and import list as well. Again, I'm just kind of going off the seat of my pants here, and we're going to say search for users, and then we'll also go ahead and have string and username. Again, I don't know 100% how this is going to work, but we'll go ahead and say like list application user users is equal to user repository, and then dot find by username containing username. Now this is also something we might want to paginate eventually, but for now I just kind of want to get this working. And the other thing is we might also want to have like their username inside of description. So I don't remember if we go ahead and look at our models. Whoops, I don't want to do that. I don't know what's wrong with Discovery Service. It's because it doesn't return this. So let's go ahead and return a new array list for the time being. And then that should quiet this down for a second. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at our application user. So we have our user ID, first name, last name, date of birth. So username is kind of like the @ We have nickname. So we can also search like nickname maybe. And then we could also do, so there should be, maybe we didn't add this, but I'm pretty sure there's supposed to be like a bio. Maybe there is a bio and I didn't see it. Date of birth, username, password. Okay, there is a bio. So we could also search for it in bio. And yeah, so that's what we'll do. We'll go ahead and say like, we'll do a new array list, and let's also add these other ones. So say back in our user repository, also go ahead and have a list of application user where we find by, and then this one's gonna be, let's do nickname containing, and then string nickname. Let's make sure nickname is lowercase, otherwise it's gonna be mad. Okay, cool. And then we'll also do a one with a list of application users, and this will be find by, and then this one will be bio containing, and then this will be string bio. Right, so now we're going to be able to search for all three of those. The idea here is we'll search for all three, we'll go ahead and put them in a set, and then we will loop through them and basically sort them by some comparator probably. So let's go ahead and go into here, and we're gonna say list of application user. So this will be users by username. We'll have a users by, and this will be nickname, equal to user repository dot find by nickname containing, and we'll pass in username. Maybe we want to put this as search term to make it more inclusive. So we'll try to find by that search term, try to find it by that, and then a list of application users by bio equal to user repository dot find by bio containing, and then we'll pass in our search term. And the idea here is that the specific person we're searching for, we should probably be able to find their username, and they're probably the most popular, and then so on and so forth. And maybe we also go by how close it is. I'm not sure how we'd do that. I mean, we could probably search by specific username, so if you get it exactly, then it'll pop up, and then maybe that'll be the first result, and then kind of go from there. So be like most specific to least specific. I haven't really figured out exactly how I want to do that, but we can maybe figure that out as well. So give me one moment here. Had to clear out my sinuses. Cool. So we have those. So now basically we want to take these and put them into a single set. That way we don't have duplicate people. And then from there we want to go ahead and sort this. So maybe we could put it into a set that automatically sorts by a comparator. I forget what this is called. I don't think it's it might be a tree set. I forget what it's called though. Maybe it's a tree set. Let me look really quick. But basically, we can, so it says here, tree set in Java. So a tree set, I want to make sure this is the one that does in fact sort it. I'm pretty sure it is. So it's a navigatable set based on a tree map. The elements are ordered using a natural order or a comparator provided at the creation time, depending on which constructor is used. So what we can go ahead and do is we can create a comparator where we basically compare the users for, I can't think. Basically, you can create the comparator for how many followers they have. So basically how popular they are. Do we have a utils? We do not have a utils. So let's go ahead and make a utils package. So new and package, and we'll just call this utils. And then inside of our utils, we'll make a new and Java class, and we're gonna go ahead and call this discovery comparator, or how do we want to say this? Discovery user comparator, maybe, because there's going to be other comparators that we have as well. And I'm just gonna ignore this. So this is going to, I'm pretty sure it's implements. I don't remember comparator, and this is going to be of type application user. And then we also want to go ahead and implement the method. So there should be, it's supposed to be compared to, or maybe it is this, because I think natural ordering uses compared to. So we're going to compare application user 01 and application user 02. Let's go and import these classes. There we go. So basically what we want to go ahead and say is if 01.get, we're going to get followers dot size is greater than 02.get followers dot size, and I might end up getting these backwards, we'll see. Then we want to return, this has to be an if else, so we will return 1 else if our 01.get followers dot size is less than 02.get followers dot size. Here in this case, we will go ahead and say return -1, and then otherwise we will return 0. They're basically the same. I don't know, whatever, I don't care. We can use integer.compare, so sure, we'll say integer.compare, and we'll say 01.get followers dot size, and then 02.get followers dot size. So I guess we can cheat a little bit and do that. Sure, dot size. So now basically what we can go ahead and do, and we want to return this, so we let Java do the logic for us, I guess. So now what we want to go ahead and do is we want to insert all of these into the set, which will be interesting. So we'll have a set of application user, and we'll say application user tree set. Actually, we'll say sorted application user set, and we'll go ahead and import set. Sure, is equal to a new, and we want a new tree set. And inside the tree set, we want, I believe, to pass in the comparator. So we're gonna go ahead and pass in the discovery user comparator. And I don't know if you have to have .class. I don't remember how this one works. So we might have to make a new discovery comparator. So maybe do this. Private final discovery service comparator, and I'm just gonna say discovery service comparator. Go ahead and import this. Is this not public class discovery user comparator? Should be discovery user comparator. Okay, there we go. Let's go ahead and try to import this again. Initialize and constructor, that's fine. Yep. So we can say this dot discovery user comparator is equal to a new discovery user comparator. This could have been just like a bean or this probably could have been a whatever it's called, but we're really only going to use it here, so I'm not that concerned about it. Just pass in that. Cool. So now we basically need to loop through all of these. Let me see. So they're sorted set. It can take in a collection. It just says a collection. I wonder if it can take in a set. So I wonder if we can say set.of. Although this takes in elements, it won't be able to take in. I'm trying to think of the best way to merge all of these into one set. Add entire array or entire list into set. I mean, I could set up like 4 for each loops or 3 for each loops. But that doesn't seem the most practical. I'm wondering if there's a way to, I don't want to say convert this, but basically add all these in at once. Let's see what we got here. So you can make a new, it says you can pass in the list. I guess, yeah, because the list is a collection. Let's see if we can combine Java combine multiple lists. Let's see if we can combine all 3 lists, and then after we combine all the lists, so there's concat, stream.concat, and then I wonder if you can say dot collectors, where you can flat map. Let's try this. So we have all 3 of these. Let's say stream of our application user, and this is going to say combined stream, sure, and then equal to stream.concat, and we're going to say inside of concat we're going to say users by username dot stream. We're going to say users by nickname dot stream and users by bio dot stream, and then let's see if we can dot, and we can map it, we can collect, and we can say maybe collectors dot toSet, and then maybe this can be a set of application users. Let's see what the problem is. Expected 2 but found 3. So let's do this. Yeah, let's do this. So then we'll get rid of this guy, and then instead of collecting we'll say dot concat again, I think is what we can do. I don't know, maybe we can't so I think it wants us to do this. So we have inside here we'll say stream.concat, pass this, and then pass users by bio.stream, and then dot collect, and then collectors.toSet. And then we have our set of application users, and then according to the documentation on Java, we should be able to call the other. You can either take in this, or you could take in the collection. It doesn't let you use both. I mean, we have this set. We could loop through the set now, or stream the set, although it's not gonna like that. We'll say combined. Although at this point we do want the set, because we want this set. I was gonna say we could just go ahead and combine all of the lists, and then go ahead and sort it that way, but then we could have duplicates. So we do want to get rid of the duplicates. Basically what we can go and do, I guess, is, because I don't think we can say comma and then combined set. I don't think we can say combined set and discover user comparators, one or the other. Technically, I think we could say combined set. The only issue is I don't think. I wonder if you could say tree set. The only issue again, I guess, is that you're not using the constructor to tell it how to actually compare them. So that's still no bueno. And I don't think we can say for each and then say user. I don't think this will work because it's declared outside of this, but we can try. So it says it'll work. Iteration can be replaced with collection.addAll. Okay, let's try that. So we can say sorted application and then collection.addAll, or collections.addAll, and then add the combined set maybe. Nope, does not like it. So what were you on about? Let's take a look again. So it says this iteration can be replaced by collection.addAll call. Lambda can be placed with method reference. So if we say sorted application set dot add all, I guess, yeah, we can do that, and we can go ahead and add all of the combined set. We can go ahead and, I need to get a new keyboard or something. It's double clicking not like crazy. Okay, and then basically, maybe instead of returning a list, we go ahead and return that set. Although, well, it should return it properly, I think. The only issue is we're gonna have to do some voodoo magic. We're gonna have to open up like our dbeaver and see if we can connect, look at our databases and do some insertions and stuff, which is what I'm not really looking forward to. But it is what it is. Schema, public, tables, and then we have all of this. So we need to basically create a bunch of following and followers, which is not going to be fun. There's probably a better way we could have done this, but we'll figure it out, I suppose. Or we can make a bunch of API calls. But basically, we're going to need users that are actually following each other so that there's actually some popularity difference there. So we can go ahead and return our sorted application user set instead of this array list. and it should return it the way that we want to. Again, we'll double check. We're gonna do some work to get this all working. So now that we have search for users, let's go ahead and make a discovery controller, and then kind of go from there. And theoretically, if this returns nothing at all, it should just be an empty list, and we can check that. So go into our controllers, go into our new Java class, and we'll just say discovery controller, and we'll have please at rest controller. Oops, too many L's, and we'll say at request mapping. And let me go ahead and check what the other mappings look like. So it's just slash whatever. Okay, so slash, and this will be discovery. We want to make sure we have this somewhat consistent, and then we'll have a private final, and then this will be a, what are we going to call this? So this is a discovery service. So discovery service, and then discovery service at auto wired public discovery controller, and this will take in a discovery service and discovery service. This dot discovery service equal to discovery service, and we'll go ahead and make, I guess we'll do a post request. I don't think it has to be a post request. This could probably be a GET request with a path param, honestly, or even like a query param, and be perfectly fine. So we're gonna go ahead and say public, actually say at get mapping, and this will be to slash users. And I always forget how to do this. Let me see. I don't think we have verify PFP banner slash. So we're following username with a path parameter. So we want to do a query param. So I forget how to do this because I don't really do many query parameters. So Spring Web request params. It might just be at param, but I don't remember how to do the URL. So I'm just gonna be safe here. Yeah, so you don't have to do anything for this, looks like. So let's just go ahead and say public, and this will return a set of application user. And let's go ahead and import the sets and that, and then this will be search for users, and this will say at request param, maybe. And then inside the request param, I guess we don't need it, we'll just say string search term, and then here we'll go ahead and return our discovery service that search for users and pass in our search term, and then that should be fine. Now I don't know what that promise. Now we need to set up the Spring Security, which I haven't touched Spring Security in a long time. So this will be interesting to say the least. So let's go back into our security config. And basically what we need to go ahead and do is have our, so we don't want to permit all, we want to, I guess, any request authenticated. So that should be fine, right? As long as the user is authenticated, it should be fine. I don't know why this one is permit all, but it is what it is. That's something I might want to fix later, but we'll see, I guess. I'll just keep it as that for now. So this should be fine. This is already set up for authentication. The only thing that really stinks, I need to go back through. Whenever I reset my computer, I lost all of this, so that's no bueno. I'm gonna go ahead and make a new collection though, and I'll make a blank collection, and I'm just gonna go ahead and call this Let's Build Twitter, and I'll still recreate this. I'm gonna just make a new folder for discovery, and make a new GET request, and this will just be users. And then http:// localhost 8000, and then I don't remember, it might, excuse me, I don't think I have API or anything here. I think we literally just need /discovery and then /users. So copy this. Now I do need to dig up how to log in again. Discovery /users. It might just be /user. Let me double check. I always forget. I'm horrible at remembering this stuff. So it is /users. We have a question mark. Search term equal to, and then search term will be like, for example, Billy or something. And honestly, I might say like Rick, because we're gonna add like Rick and Morty. Something I just realized, whoops, we need to ignore case. So I'm pretty sure if we come into our repository, apparently I closed out of it. Or actually, it's user repository. I don't know where my user repository even went. So let me go back to repositories, user repository. So we want to ignore case, I believe is how we do it. And it might be ignoring case, I don't remember. But we don't want case to mess this up. So go ahead and update these to ignore case, ignore case, and ignore case. And again, we'll double check to make sure it works. We don't want it like someone like typing in lowercase, but the person has uppercase in their name or whatever. So we just need to be safe like that for that. So cool. So now I need to remember how to log in. Let's go into our auth controller. Let's see here. So we have register, update phone, email, update, login. Just takes in a username and password. And I believe we should have unknown coder in there. So if we come into here, I know this one is really small, but I don't know how to change this one either. I'm too lazy. So we come in here and look at data. We should have unknown coder with a password. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, oh shoot, we have to deal with all that. Of course, we'll deal with it. But basically, I'm going to get what the hash is for just password, which it might actually be that. I'm just going to set all of them the password. So we need to, so I'm guessing this is just auth/login. So let's go ahead and go back into Postman, and I will go ahead and make another new folder. And I'll add all these back, and this one will be auth. And then I'll make a new request. And this will be login, and this one's actually a post request. http:// localhost 8000 auth login. And I'll have to double check that this is actually what these are supposed to be. Raw JSON, yep. And username is unknown coder. If this doesn't work, we're going to do some debugging, and I'm pretty sure our password is just password, and that's going to add to all of these just to be easy and safe. Now we're going to find out if this is proper. So let's see. So okay, we got that. We want our token. We need to copy this token, and we should be able to come in here, go into our headers, and we're going to need authorization, and we need bearer. And then paste that, I believe. And we need to get rid of, whoops, this. And okay, I don't think I got on the other one. Okay, cool. I think that's all we need to do. And we have search term Rick. This should just return an empty list. 404 not found, discovery users. And we need to restart because I forget for whatever reason IntelliJ does not actually refresh this. That's something I want to look into. Okay, it started. Let's see. So if we come back in here again and let's log in, actually it might still be fine. Yep, okay, we're good. It's empty. So basically now what we need to do is we need to insert a whole bunch of users, and that also means we need to update our application user and maybe one other thing, maybe not. So let's just go ahead and come back in here. Whoops, not that, IntelliJ. And let's go into our models. So let's go into our application user. And now instead of auto, we actually want this to be identity. Whoops, identity. And that will allow us to actually insert users. And then I'm trying to think what ones we actually need to put in there. So like I said, I'm pretty sure that this is the one for password. So I'm going to copy this. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to, inside my resources, make a new and file. And this is going to be called data.sql. And I'm going to set it up so that it actually reads this automatically and then puts in the users. And let me just double check this again. So I'm going to say spring data JPA insert data at startup, because there is a couple of settings I need to set up first to make sure that it works properly. Here we go. Let me look at this again. So we need to set up a couple of things. So come into our application properties. So we're setting up this stuff. We can just set it here. We want to say spring.jpa.defer-data source initialization equal to true. So this will basically say, hey, wait until everything's loaded up to add it. We also need spring.sql.init.mode equals to always. And then this will always make sure that we load in the data. So now what we could do is also, if we want to go into this, we could grab our user and set all this information if we wanted to. But now basically we can say like insert into, and we can go ahead and insert it into, and I think we just call this users. So we come in here, just called users. So we can insert into users, and then we can go like this. So what we basically want to insert is, let's go ahead and insert like the email, maybe, well, I don't feel like doing bios. Maybe I can do that later. Enabled, we need true, first name, last name, password, and then username, and the other ones we don't really care about. So let's go ahead and do that. And maybe I'll go through, and this is something I could probably give away for free later on if I want to go through. It might be a good idea to go through and like get like the top users from Twitter or something, and basically figure out who they're following and stuff like that, and set it up so it's kind of like Twitter, and we have some like top tweets and all that stuff. But it is what it is. So let's go back into here. So the first one would be email. So we want email, we want enabled. After enabled, we want first name, last name. So first name, last name. Let's do nickname because we are searching by that. I'm a little bit concerned about bio, but it's probably fine. So first name, last name, nickname. We want the password. And then what else do we want after password? We need email, I guess. And then we also want to insert the username. And I think that might be everything. Let's just double check. So bio, email, enabled, first name, last name, nickname, password. Phone, I don't really care about. Username and the other stuff, I don't care. So think that's everything. And we can say values, and we'll see how badly I do here. So first email will be rick@mail.com. We'll have true, and then first name will be Rick. Last name, whoops. Where'd my mouse go? I lost my mouse. Hello? There we go. Rick. Next will be Sanchez. Nickname. So nickname will be Rick. Nickname can be anything basically. Password will be this. So let me go and grab the password again. So copy this. This should technically be password, and we're gonna check this before we get too crazy here. Email. Ooh, I have email twice. Let's go and get rid of that. And then finally, username will be like Rick Sanchez. And maybe we also put the bio, I guess. Let's go ahead and throw bio in here. Bio, and then bio will be like something like shoot. I wonder if I can do this. Seems fine. Pickle Rick. I don't know. Let's see if we can get this value inserted. There's a good chance it's going to fail, and we have to just double check and see what's going on. But let's just go ahead and try to stop and rerun and see if we can go ahead and insert this data. And then if we can insert the data, let's go ahead and see. Okay, so we cannot insert the data. So terminated string SQL. So I don't think it likes the pickle Rick. Oh, you know what? I messed up. These should be single quotes. So that, if that's the issue, that should be pretty easy fix. Let's save that data.sql. And again, like I said, I might do some web parsing and steal some data from Twitter. Let's see. Unterminated string still. These all look like they're fine. Excuse me, the only thing I can think of is this guy, so maybe I get rid of this. And it just says unpickle Rick like that. Again, we're just gonna try this a couple times to see if I can get it working. It doesn't like something with the with an unterminated string. Everything is fine that I can see. Okay, it started. Now the real question is, did it create and actually add that person in there? So if we come into our database and let's go ahead and give this a nice refresh. So now you can see I'm Pickle Rick. We have the mail, first name, last name, the nickname, and for some reason, oh, you know what? The password's not the same because I don't think this is gonna work. Shoot. So we try to log in and I say, so the username was like Rick Sanchez, right? So let's scroll over to the username. So the username is Rick Sanchez. Can I log in with password? I can. Okay, it's still working. And if I put unknown coder, and that might be wrong. Unknown coder. Okay, it's fine. Cool. So there's one. And like I said, this part might not be the most fun thing in the world, but I want to add some people in here. That way we can maybe start following some people and getting some of that set up, that whenever we search, it pops up. So now we say Morty at mail.com. They are verified. First name Morty, second name Smith, and then maybe he says his nickname is Mort Dog or something like that, right? And then the password will be this password again. copy that, and then maybe his username is Morty Smith, and then we'll say Rick is my grandpa or something, and then we'll say Summer. I don't know if it's, I think it's spelled like that, I don't know, summer@mail.com, true, and then we'll say Summer and Smith, and then we'll say Summer is her nickname, and then we'll have the password as password. I don't know why it did that, but thank you. Password will be basically set up as password, and then her username will be SS Summertime. I don't know. And then my brother Morty is so annoying. He never lets me join adventures with my grandpa Rick. Again, I'm trying to add like stuff in the bios so they kind of like links each other together. So maybe Summer has the most followers or something, and then Rick has the next or something like that, you know. Next we'll say bird person@mail.com, true, bird person, and then nickname will be bird person, right? And then we'll do that again. I don't know why it can't paste inside of it, but okay. Bird person, and then maybe again let's have bird person, and then I don't know what bird person, I don't remember much about bird person, but I committed many war crimes in the Gears War. Okay, so we added some people there. Again, it's not very much, but I wanted just like something to start out with and be able to follow each other and stuff. So let's go ahead and refresh, make sure I did this right. There's a good chance I didn't. Let's see. Okay, it all started. Okay, if we come into here and give this a nice refresh, whoops, give this a nice refresh, we can see we have all of our people with our usernames. We didn't put phone number in, wasn't that concerned about phone number, but there's a bio. It's got email, first name, last name, nickname, username, so on and so forth. And again, we're gonna ignore case whenever we search for these. So now let's go ahead and do some like following and stuff. And I'm wondering if we want to go ahead and do followers and following like tables, right? Just to like make it easy on ourselves. I don't remember exactly how this is going to work, which is not fun either. So we'll have to figure out what to do with that. So let's go ahead and go into here, I guess. Let's go back into here. Actually, I was going to look at this. So if we go into, so followers, so this table I think is supposed to display the user and then who's following them, and then following is the opposite. So I'm trying to think about how I want to do this. The user's IDs shouldn't change. It should always be 1, 2, 3. So Rick should be 1, Morty 2, Summer 3, and Bird Person 4. And I do want to add more people, just not tonight, I guess. So let's see here. We're going to trying to think what we want to do here. Let's go ahead and just try this. So let's go in here. And then let's just like say insert into, and then we're gonna say, forget what the table name's called. I'm horrible at this. So followers. So I'm assuming that followers will need, so the followers has the user ID and then the follower. So let's say that bird person, so ID 1 2 3 4, ID 4, so ID 1 is being followed by ID 4, and then insert into following values. It's going to be the opposite, 4 comma 1. So I'm pretty sure what this means is, so basically Rick has the follower of bird person, and we probably didn't need to do it this way. I think this was just to make it kind of easier inside the object itself. And then this is basically saying bird person is following Rick. And let's make sure that this kind of works as I expect. I don't know. Let's go into our user controller, and I think there's a way to get the following and followers. So we can say get follower list, and I don't think this actually requires being logged in. I mean, I can log in, I guess. I can log in as someone and view it. So yeah, that's fine. So let's just rerun this. And actually, I should still have a bearer token. So it should be fine. So now we logged in. Let's go ahead and take a look at the database. So if we go into followers and give it a refresh, we should see 1 4. And we open up following, it says 4 1. So it's like a mirror. Again, this could have been all like one big table, like following follower junction or something. We could have read from one or another or something like that. I was trying to keep it somewhat unconfusing because the whole thing's really confusing. So let's just go ahead and make inside of our Let's Build Twitter. I'll go ahead and add a new folder for user. And then inside of user, I'll just go ahead and make a request. And then this is going to be followers maybe, and HTTP. So HTTP enter, and I believe this is under user / followers / and then we want to see who's following who. So this takes in the username, I believe. So if we go in here, takes in the username, so we'll say Rick Sanchez. And I don't believe it actually needs the auth token. So if I just run this, does this work? 500, the user you're looking for does not exist. Well, it might help if I do that correctly. We should probably deal with that. Hopefully they didn't crash the server. No, I don't think it crashed the server. I just think I did. I don't think I actually handled that very well. Alright, cool. Anyway, let's try it again. So now we actually write Rick Sanchez properly. So yeah, Rick Sanchez has followers, bird person. And if we say following Rick Sanchez, and this should see they're not following anyone. If we say following for bird person, we should see Rick Sanchez, right? So bird person is following Rick Sanchez, and then followers for Rick Sanchez. If I can type, Sanchez is bird person. So that worked. So let's add, I'm just gonna add a couple of followings here, just to basically make it so we can have a thing that gets sorted. Again, I don't want to go too crazy, so let's go ahead and set up like all the people following Rick. So we'll go ahead and also have Morty follow Rick. So insert into followers 1, 2, and then insert into following 2, 1. So we'll say Morty is following Rick, and then we'll say Summer is following Rick. So then we can say insert into followers 1, 3, and then insert into following 3, 1. Okay, maybe Rick is only following Bird Person and Morty or something. So Rick is following Bird Person. So we can say insert into followers, and then here we'll say 4, 1, basically opposite, insert into following 1, 4. Hopefully this isn't an issue with like the keys, but I don't think it will be. So maybe Rick is following Bird Person and Rick is following Summer, or not Summer, Morty. So then we'll say insert into followers. It'll be, so this one will be 2, 1, and insert into following 1, 2. So there. So Rick is following 2 people. Rick has 3 followers. Rick has 3 followers. And then right, so Morty, Summer, blah blah blah. This kind of got confusing. Rick is following 2 people. How do I want to deal with this? So Bird Person has 1 follower. Bird Person has 1 follower. Maybe Morty. So maybe we also say, so let's say Morty has 2 followers. Right? So say, we'll go ahead and say Bird Person is following Morty. And then here we'll insert into followers 2, 4, and then insert into following, and we'll say 4, 2. Trying to make like a clear like ordering here. And then finally, maybe Summer has 1 follower, where Summer probably more, but it is what it is. Insert into following for followers, and then we'll say Bird Person's following her. So this one's 3. Yeah, so 3, 4, and then insert into following would be 4, 3. Hopefully I didn't mix those up. But now those should basically be set up. So Rick should have 3 followers, Morty should have 2, and then Summer should have 1 follower. So if I refresh, let's make sure that these get added. And we can take a look at our tables and whatnot. Oh, we got errors. Near 1, we're at though. SQL error near 1. That's helpful. Insert into. All of those look good. Followers. I'm wondering if it has to do with duplicate key. Statement 4 of URL. Insert into followers 1, 2. Syntax error near 1. Two, 1. Although this should probably be 3, 1. And that one is probably, it's probably not the error that we were expecting. It's probably because it's a duplicate key. So let's try that. I typoed right there. Okay, still an error near 1. I don't know what the error is. It's probably something very obvious. Failed to execute. Enter into followers 1, 2. Is there another 1, 2? No, there's not. This person should exist. Syntax error. There's a... That's fine. Followers. Is there something typoed or what here? Syntax error near 1. I don't know what the error is. Seems legal. So this one worked. Oh, you know what? I forgot values for all of these. Shoot. Okay, I see what the issue is. Values. I don't know how I missed values on all of these. You guys are yelling at me through the screen right now saying, you idiot, you forgot values. But I can see now. The rain is gone. Okay, let's fix all these up. Save. Okay, let's try to run it again. And let's see. Okay, much better. So now if we take a look at our database and we go ahead and refresh our followers, refresh, you can see 1 has 3 followers, 4 has 1 follower, 3 has 2 followers, 2 has 1 follower. So we can also look at following. So if we refresh this table and take a look at following, they're following 1 person, 2 is following 1 person, 3 is following 1, 2 is following 2, 4 is following actually 3. Cool. So that's all set up. Again, I would like to add maybe scrape some data from Twitter, insert all of that, and like kind of figure out who's following who, stuff like that. The only issue is we want to be careful with random people's data, obviously. So maybe we won't do that. Maybe I'll just make some Mockaroo data and have them follow each other, something like that. And that might work. I could probably do some Mockaroo data with random names and then random values and stuff like that. But there's that. So now if we want to search for like a user, so if we come back into here and let's say we want to go ahead and search discovery, so maybe we want the term to be Rick. So we should find a couple people. So we found Morty Smith. So I think this is backwards. So let's go ahead and, because this one obviously got it because Rick is my grandpa, right? If we put Smith here, Morty should be first. Interesting. Summer didn't pop up at all. Oh, you know what? Because we didn't do by first and last name, we did by nickname. That makes sense, I guess. So yeah, if we put Rick, we say Morty. 2 should pop up, I think. So yeah, so Morty pops up, and then Summer pops up. Now the thing that concerns me is that whenever we did Rick, Morty actually popped up first, and Rick's at the bottom, even though theoretically Rick should have 3 followers. So we have follower here, follower here, and follower here. So if we come back into here in the postman, maybe if it wants to open, and we look at followers and Rick Sanchez, there should be 3 followers in there, as you can see. So basically he should be first in line. So this is like backwards from what I want for whatever reason. So I wonder if I can say negative integer in that work, because we basically want to flip it, and then if it's a 0 it shouldn't matter, I don't think. Who knows, I could be wrong, and this could totally not be legal. But if we go ahead and say this, so if we go ahead and search for Rick, hopefully Rick pops up first. We see Rick first because he has the most, and so on and so forth. So it might not be the most perfect searching system, but I think it's going to get the job done for what we need, basically, because basically what we need is just to be able to more or less pop it up so that we can basically follow people. And yeah, I think that's probably good here. So we could also search for posts and all of that stuff, but we're not at that point yet. And there's probably a little bit more I can also do inside this once we get a little bit farther. But for now, I think this is fine. So I think that's going to conclude what we're doing for Java for now. And we might go back into our front end. So let's go ahead and get the front end running. I haven't actually been running the front end. npm run start. So let's get the front end running really quick. And apparently I didn't push. I'm pretty sure I pushed. I don't know why it didn't pop up. Basically what I want to work on in the front end is the search bar on the side. It's very simple, just goes at the top. It looks like it sticks on the top as well. And then if you type into it, it does have like a recent search, so that's interesting. If you type, it looks like it searches for users. So if we say interesting, cool. So let's just get like search going, I guess, and then kind of go get the small search bar going, and then kind of go from there. So I don't know if I want it inside feed, if I want it inside search. How do I want to do this? And if we look at this, it shows 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The top 8 for some reason, which is weird. So let's do this. We probably already have a search bar somewhere that we could probably repurpose. And this is technically in the feed page, but it's not really in the feed, because this is like outside the feed. So maybe we do this is like discovery on the side. So maybe we make a new folder called this discovery. And we'll make a new folder called components. And we'll make some new stuff in here, and then inside components, a new file, and this will be discovery search bar, maybe tsx. And if I think we could probably reuse this. Yeah, we can. And you guys are hearing young scrap talk, I'm sorry. Yeah, and then we can, okay, we can reuse that. That's perfectly fine. So we have a discovery search bar. Make a new, this should have been inside of a new folder called discovery search bar. So let's go ahead and fix that. Discovery search bar. And let's move this into there. Yes. And then new file, discovery, search, search bar dot css. And we probably need a whole section as well. And there's also going to be discovery search page, which we're not going to get into tonight. Obviously, we don't have time. So I'm just kind of thinking what we want to do here. We could make a new slice, which I'm thinking is probably what we're going to do. Then we can just wrap the slice. Although we need it in 2 places. So yeah, I guess we'll probably just make a slice, store the search term and any search results in there, and then we can either display them below, display them on the page, do whatever we need. So let's just go ahead and import React. So import React from React. And we'll need a couple other things. Let's just get a very simple search bar open. And then we will say, what do we want to say? I guess we'll say export const discovery search bar, and just say react.fc, and this will be an arrow function. And for now, it's not going to take in any properties, and return, and we'll return a div, the class name equal to discovery search bar. Cool. So what's your problem, React.fc? What did I do wrong here? Let me double check another component. I scuffed something. What did I scuff? React const, did I not export? No, export const discovery search bar react.fc equal to, whoops, there we go. All right, so the search bar will have a, I guess if we click on this, it probably pops it up. Yeah. So we need use state, and basically use state will check to see if the bar is active. So const bar, we'll just say active, I guess, and set active. And this will be equal to use states boolean, and it'll start out as false. And then based on whether or not this is true or false, we will do some styling. And what we'll do now is, whoops, I clicked on something I didn't want to click on, and I scuffed everything. Terrific. Let's go ahead and close out of that so I don't click on that some more. Let's close out of that and come back in here. Okay. So if we click on this as a border, and then I guess inside we'll have a, let's see, inside we'll have an icon. And let me go to material UI icons. Let's go ahead and grab the icon for the hourglass or the magnifying glass. So give it a second here. I'm just gonna look up search. We're gonna try to find a search icon. And everything went away. Thank you, material I. Okay, search icon and search, and let me copy this guy. So copy that, bring in the search icon, and we'll have a search icon there. And this will need some sort of stuff on it. And we might also wrap this in a div. Well, can we put an onClick on this? Sure we can. Well, it'll probably be fine because it's going. Well, basically, we can set it underneath or something. That's fine. Input class name will be equal to discovery dash search dash bar dash, and then this will be input. And then the input, let me look at Twitter again. The input is just gonna basically have, I guess, a well, we don't even need a value. We want an on focus for sure. So on focus and on blur, and that'll do stuff. And then I guess we'll say on change because I'm guessing it updates as we go. So have it on change. I'll have a placeholder equal to search, and I think that's all we're gonna have for our search bar. And basically what we'll do is on focus, we can do something like literally dead simple as this. On focus, we set active to true, and then on blur, we set active to false, and then on change, we need a dispatcher. So we can go ahead and say const handle change is equal to React function with React.change event on an HTML input elements. And then here we need to set up our dispatcher, which we do not have, and paste that. Okay. And again, the data will actually be stored inside of a the data will be stored inside of whatever we want to call it. I can't think right now. So now we also need like a discovery section that goes inside of the homepage, or I think it's the homepage, because the homepage has feed, has a navigation section, and then it has, this one says info section. I could probably rename this discovery, but it is what it is. So we need this section. And it looks like I just called it like navigation feed, whatever. So I'm gonna go ahead and just call this, I'm gonna say new folder. I'm gonna go ahead and call this just discovery to kind of go with the flow of what I had earlier, and new file, and this will be called discovery.tsx. And let's go ahead and make a new file and discovery.css, and inside of our tsx we will import React from React. And then the reason why I'm not just storing it in here, like the search data and stuff, is because we're gonna have another page whenever we actually enter that takes you to like a search page. So that's why I'm kind of doing it the way I am. And then we will also import our ./discovery .css, and this one's going to be also dead simple. Export const discovery, say react.fc equal to an arrow function, return a div with a class name equal to discovery, and inside we will have a discovery dropdown, discovery search bar actually, and it's not gonna have anything inside of it. And then we're also gonna have a few other things, but basically I want to get just the search bar showing up. And so now I can actually maybe see how big this search bar is. It looks like it didn't change. So this section, if I can maybe get the section, Let's see, can I find our section here? Okay, here. So according to this, if I scroll down, it's about 350 wide. And it stays about that wide no matter what you do. So if I come into our .css and I grab discovery, copy this, and do this, discovery. So width will be 350 px, basically no matter what. Height will be 100%. Okay, now we might need a top section, which basically is sticky to the top. So we might go ahead and say div class name equal to discovery dash, and then maybe we say like sticky or something. And then this is sticky to the top. So copy this, paste it in here, and then we're gonna say discovery sticky, and go back into here and put this discovery sticky, and here we'll say position is sticky, and top 0. Again, we can't see this yet. We're gonna need probably some sort of padding on this. It says has a margin of 10 on this side. It doesn't say it has any padding, but I'm guessing if I actually take a closer look, there's some sort of margin or padding on one of these sections. Let's see. So this one has a border of 1. This one doesn't have any padding. There's just like maybe a row gap or something. I'm gonna guess. Let's put a, how do I want to do this? Because there is a little bit of a space in between. I don't know if it's like a row gap. Because we look at home. There's no really section. Well, maybe there is. And maybe feed. What does feed? Home content section. What does this look like? Home content section. Container. Top left, landing layout. I don't even see. This doesn't even exist. Well, actually, I clicked on the wrong thing. CSS. Home. Info section, content section. All it has is nothing. So I'm wondering if I do margin, this would be right, of like 12 px or 16 px, and it might be more like 32 or something, but let's just see what that looks like. Discovery sticky, we'll do that, and we might need a background color of white on that, and we might need width 100%. It's kind of messy, and height. We didn't get the height for this, but the button itself, or the search bar itself, let's see, it's about 46 tall, which is really weird. I'm gonna say 50 pixels. Let's just round it up. Height will be 50 pixels. It is what it is. It's not gonna be perfect. I don't care. So we have a discovery sticky. We have a discovery. We have a discovery search bar. We should be able to copy this. Well, actually, we'll go into our discovery, new file, say index.ts. I think we can just do tx. Let's go into import our discovery, and we will want to return discovery search as well. So we'll go ahead and import discovery, or import discovery search bar. I don't know what that deal is, but export discovery and discovery search bar. Excuse me, we're not going to use discovery search bar right now, but we will in a little bit. So let's go to home and let's go ahead and bring in our discovery. So here we'll say discovery, import that, and let me go ahead and open up our private browser. And I forgot what port this is running on. Let's see if it's on 3000. It's not 3000. Is it 4000? I don't know. I don't remember what this is running on. Let's see. What port are we running on? I'm just going to stop it and rerun it. So I don't remember what port we run this on. It is port 3000. Why were you not found? Localhost 3000. Huh. Now it's fine. Okay, sure. Let's go ahead and log in as unknown coder. Need to fix that. Whatever. Password. Okay. So now, obviously, it's really small. You know, it won't let us scroll because we don't have enough space there. So we'll have to deal with that later. But we can at least make the search bar look nice and deal with all that. So now, also, let's see what the spacing looks like. So yeah, I think the spacing probably needs to be a little bit more, maybe like 24 pixels. So let's just go ahead and deal with the spacing really quick. So in the spacing and home, so 16. Let's see what 32 looks like. 32 might be way too much, but although I think I kind of like 32, so we're gonna keep that. All right, so now back to a discovery search bar. Let's go ahead and import our CSS. So import our / discovery search bar. And we're going to go ahead and in our class, we're going to do this. And we're going to say active ? And we're going to have search bar active or discovery search bar inactive. So if it's active, we'll do one thing. If it's deactive, we'll do another thing. And we might also, probably be good to have like a default, but whatever. So we'll go ahead and do the inactive first. Let's copy this and we'll come into discovery search bar. So width, I think I want 100%. Height, I think we go, it says 44. Let's go 45 px. And then padding, I don't know. Probably want a little bit of padding. I could probably steal the padding from Twitter. Twitter normally does pretty big padding. Yeah, 12 px. So now we should be seeing a little bit of a difference. So you can see we need to move this guy, but you get the gist. If we click on this, we're going to go ahead and focus it. And whenever we click on this, it makes it active. So it's kind of scuffed, but we can deal with that. So now our background color will be transparent. We'll have border none. Actually, no, that's the wrong thing. I don't think it matters what the background color is on this actually. Although I think it might be a slightly different color. The problem is I don't have light mode. Let's see if I can figure out how to turn on light mode. I doubt I'll be able to figure it out, but who knows. Settings. Yeah, I have no idea actually. Settings and privacy maybe. Monetization, that's definitely not it. Okay, I don't know how to change it. I'm guessing it's probably a slightly lighter color. So maybe we do want to do background color. And this is a mess. I probably should have done this differently. Maybe we go gray. And maybe we go light gray. I don't know. Save that. Border will be none. But we will have a border radius. 23. So I guess maybe we do 44 just to make it a nice round number. We should be seeing a little bit difference. And that might be a little bit dark. We might want to go light gray. And we might want a little bit of space at the top as well. So let's go with the light gray color. Copy this. And let's go ahead and come back into here. Paste in the light gray color. And that's probably going to be almost indistinguishable. No, that's good. I think I like that. We will go ahead and let's add a margin top to this. So in our padding, margin top, we'll do, it's not very much, maybe like 4 pixels, just very slight margin top, just to get it off. Like, I think that looks good. And then we'll go ahead and we can say what we want to say here. We want a display flex. We can justify content flex start. We might actually be able to get away with not doing what I was thinking, and then align items in the center. So I think this might actually fix a lot of our issues. Like, that looks pretty darn good. We just need to basically set how wide the search is. So like maybe like 80% or whatever. 80% might be too big. And I honestly even like the size of this guy. The only thing that I'd want to do is maybe change the color. So SX equal to, we can say color colon, we probably want like the gray color. I'm assuming it's probably gray. Again, I don't know what it actually is because I have dark mode on Brave, and it basically is gonna take over no matter what I do. So I'm guessing it's gonna be dark gray or gray. We'll see which one looks better. So this one, I think we'll probably go with that. And then we also might want a cursor pointer, so we can also easily add that. Now the issue is, I wonder if I can say z-index on this. So I basically want to be able to click through this. And this will be like a -10. Let's see, what's the problem? Do I need to do this? No. Is it, I might have to say z-index actually. So let's try that. Z or z-index with uppercase, maybe? I don't know that z-index is gonna work. I might have to do some other trick. Yeah, shoot. Now it's completely behind it. Let's do this. So we'll get rid of z-index. Let's go ahead and wrap this in a div. Class name is equal to, and we'll just say discovery search bar icon wrapper. And literally all we're gonna do is make it the exact size of the search icon, except it's gonna have an on click on it. Maybe I scuffed it. Let me undo all this. I hate that copying an empty clipboard is an option for anything. So basically on click will equal to, and we're going to say const focus on inputs. And basically what I want to go ahead and do is, I guess we need to set up a ref, input ref equal to use ref. It's not, I don't love this. This is an HTML input element. Start out as null. Let's go ahead and bring in use ref. So this is very simple. Basically say if our input ref and input ref dot current, then we're gonna say input ref dot current dot focus. So we're going to try to focus on the input. If we click on this, we want to focus on the input. Will this work? I don't know. I'm hoping it does. But let's go ahead and copy this. And I want to make this very, very simple. Oops, wrong button. So let's fix this. Maybe. So dot discovery icon wrapper. And we're just going to say width fit content, height fit content, and then margin will be 0 and padding will be 0. I want it to be just dead on, nothing in there. If we click on it, oh man, it's not centered. So we need to figure out what's going on with that. It's not centered. Let's see. That part looks fine, but it's definitely not centered. This is the issue with these guys. So wrapper's slightly too big. Wrapper's 24 by 28 for some reason. What if we do this? So we know it's 24 by 24. You know what? What if we say display flex justify content center and align item center? Wish we wouldn't have to do that. Cool. If we click on it, it doesn't work. Interesting. Let's see. Oh, you know what? We never put the ref on here. That makes sense. Ref equal to... It's going to be hard to focus on the ref whenever the ref isn't there. So if we click on it, it's focused. Okay. So basically, let's go ahead and grab the discovery bar active. And unfortunately, it's going to be a lot of the same. I messed up my hair. Unfortunately, it's going to be a lot of the same. And we could have done this probably a lot better. So still, width going to be 100%. And all of this stuff. So I'm going to grab all of this. Again, not the best thing. Border will be 1px. Let's try 2px. 2px solid. And it's going to be the blue color from app.tx. I wish I would have done this differently. Again, if I could go back and change a couple things, I would. And we also need to change the color inside of this. So here, the color will actually be, let's do backticks. And we'll say $ curly braces. And then we're going to do active question mark. If it's active, it's actually going to be this color. This will be pretty simple. Otherwise, it'll be that color. Cool. So let's see here. If you go on Twitter, click on it. It's active, inactive. Easy enough. Looks good. So now we need to do the actual search bar input. Just copy this input and we'll come in here, dot discovery bar input. Now here, so I guess we know that the wrapper should be like 28 px by 28 px. Although this isn't going to work because we're going to we're basically going to make this bigger later on, so we do have it as width 100%. Like I could do something like width 10%, height 100%, and I think theoretically it should still center it, given that we have enough space. So we don't have quite enough space, so we did like, whoops, I did pixels instead of percent. It's like width 10% is probably more, way more than we need, and honestly it makes it, well actually it's actually quite far away, so this is actually kind of closer than it actually is. But anyway, that's fine. So let's do this. Let's do 15%. It needs to be slightly bigger because there needs to be slightly more space. And then we also, I think, instead of, so it's moving a little bit, so I want this to be flex start as well. There. And now we can bring that back down to 10. Anyway, so now what we can go ahead and do is say width, and we could also go, I know I'm jumping all over the place, we can put column gap as like 12 pixels or something. And here width will be 90%. It's just gonna make it fit. Height 100%. And then, so this is the actual input. So we want border none, and outline none. So that's what makes it look ugly. Font size can probably be slightly bigger. I don't know what the font size here is. Font size, let's see if we can find font size just inherent. Doesn't help. Let's try like 16 px. Font weight is pretty skinny, 400. And then color, we could probably just borrow the color. We want the color to be the gray color, and it might need to be dark gray just to be safe. So we come to app tsx. Let's grab the dark gray so we can see it, hopefully. Let's paste that in. And I don't know what else we need. Placeholder might be slightly lighter. Oh, we need background color. And I think, let's see, icon wrapper. Why does that seem like it's being weird? Is it the border? Let's also add background color to this. So background color will be transparent, and font size might need to be bigger. So I don't know why it moves. That's interesting to me that it moves on me. But it moves pretty good. We almost need this. And this is kind of dumb. We almost need like a transparent border. It still moves. Huh. Make sure it's saved. Whoops. Yeah, it's saved. Interesting. flex start, this flex start. That shouldn't change. Has a transparent background. I think this should maybe like 600. Well, no, it should be 400. I'm not sure why it's moving on us. Because even here, it shouldn't be changing in size. Interesting. What's the difference here? In what? So this... The wrapper is changing, so inactive. Oh, you know what? It's this. I put a calm gap here. And honestly, that calm gap is probably a bit much, given the sizing. Try like 8 pixels. What if we get rid of calm gap altogether? I feel like it's too close. Honestly, I think that's probably good. It looks a little small, but I think it's probably fine. And if we wanted to very quickly, a thing pops up whenever you start searching. It says like searching for people, lists, or keywords. Now the only thing that's gonna stink about this, I mean, maybe, you know what? I guess since it's sticky to the top, because I'm thinking we want this bar thing that pops up whenever we click to go over top of stuff. But that's going to mean that we need to know when it's active, and that means we're going to need to know when the search bar is active in multiple components. So I think that means we need to go ahead and set up the slice, but it's getting pretty late. There's only like 8 minutes left until 11. So I think I'm going to wrap it up there. We got our searching done, so that's good. And we even got a little bit of the search bar figured out. It's working like Twitter's. So now whenever we want to type in here, we basically want to start searching automatically. And we want it to start popping up in a drop down here. And there's going to be other stuff below this, keep in mind. I can't tell if it's sticky or not, so that's something we'll have to look at. But yeah, that's basically where we're at. So again, if you guys stop by the stream or you're watching it later on, thank you all for stopping by. This has been Ethan Encoder. I'll see you guys in the next episode or live stream. Have a great day, everybody.